Are you all ready? Close the door and no noise, sir. Constitution of the Federal Republic, the National Judicial Council has ample powers to deal exclusively with matters pertaining to allegations of misconduct and discipline of judicial officers. Specifically, the NJC has the powers and procedures also for investigating allegations and recommending appropriate sanctions or disciplinary measures against judicial officers as a matter of first instance before any further steps. Now, this has enjoyed judicial validation in cases both at the Court of Appeal level and also at the level of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, before which the purported arraignment is being sought. So the Court of Appeal and the Code of Conduct Tribunal itself has decided on this matter. That if you want to discipline a judge on account of any misconduct, you first go before the NJC. This has not happened. So we note that the attempt to drag the CJN to the CCT is a grave and dangerous escalation of the assault on institutions of state, including the National Assembly and now the judiciary. We believe that the President of the Federal Republic, President Muhammadu Buhari, has a constitutional responsibility and indeed a very huge moral obligation and legal obligation also to defend our democracy. Therefore, we consider this step, which is directly aimed at humiliating the nation's highest judicial officer, who incidentally is a prominent son of this nation from the South-South zone. We view this as totally unacceptable, as it is reflective of what we have come to know as a South-South story of endless marginalization and intimidation. Now you realize that of recent, we had the case of the unceremonious removal or retirement of the man who acted as the Director General of the Department of State Services from the great state of Bayelsa, by the way, Mr. Matthew Seefa, and his replacement. And all of this is still very fresh in our minds. Action, this unfortunate action against His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, further reinforces the perception that the Buhari administration has no regard for the sentiments, and in particular, the sentiments and wishes and expectations of the peoples of the Niger Delta and the rule of law. It is a fact that this administration has a penchant for flagrant disobedience of and disregard for legitimate and valid court orders. You all know the story. We expect President Buhari, therefore, to know that in our democracy cannot survive without respect for the Constitution and without adherence to the rule of law and respect for the separation of powers as enshrined in our Constitution. We strongly believe that this regrettable development at the Supreme Court at this critical time, which people can even call injury time, when preparations for general elections are even wobbly, there are concerns about the preparedness and the partiality of INEC, and concerns about the preparedness and the partiality and readiness of the security agencies. All of us are concerned, And this is when this kind of action, unprecedented action, is being unleashed. And that this action is capable of causing tension and a possible breakdown of law and order in this country. We note further that this action critically undermines confidence, not only in the judiciary of our country as an institution, but it also undermines confidence in the electoral process that has already commenced, in view of the pivotal role that the judiciary plays in the process of electoral adjudication. We affirm that President Muhammadu Buhari knows that the continuous assault on critical institutions of state is a defining feature of a dictatorship, not of a democracy, and that the president is obliged to live up to his word that is a born-again Democrat, as he has assured all Nigerians since assuming office 2015. Based on the foregoing, we hereby call on the President as follows: to condemn forthwith, without any equivocation whatsoever, this unprecedented, premeditated assault on the judiciary as an institution and the person and office of His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, coming especially after similar assaults on the National Assembly in order to save our democracy and our country from embarrassment and global contempt. Number two, we call on His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to ignore the so-called court summons from the CCB and the provocative calls emanating from some quarters for his resignation. While we are not opposed to any genuine fight against corruption, and we all support it, we have taken the view, as all well-meaning members of our country have also, that these actions must always be anchored on the rule of law. We decry the massive build-up of arms. Arms are building up in our respective states, and this is carried out deliberately by the leaders of the other party, the APC, across the Niger Delta states. In all our states, all our experiences are the same. There is a deliberate and orchestrated build-up of small and light offensive weapons calculated to wreak havoc on the law-abiding innocent people of our respective states. And this has a capacity, if not checked, to renew the inglorious periods of crisis and insecurity in that critical part of the nation that we as governors have been working very hard to stabilize. And these resolutions were unanimously arrived at and assented to by all of us, dated today, and duly signed and authorized by all of us. Thank you very much once again for finding time to be with us. Thank you.